You know, we didn't cut about 110 acres that we usually would cut throughout the summer. A lot of it had to do with the bees and a conversation I had with a biologist at the Rattlesnake Festival in Georgia. And they claim, I didn't know this, but they claim that these vast open areas that are mowed are a wildlife dead zone. So of course the bees, wildflowers, fawns, rabbits, all sorts of stuff. And I noticed as I was driving out here that there were quite a few butterflies on these yellow wildflowers out here, which is nice to see, which I'm going to show you. There's just thousands of yellow wildflowers, which you thought this would have occurred to me earlier. And you see these yellow wildflowers? They're everywhere. And I saw a lot of butterflies on them. Purple flowers too. Some kind of purple flowers. These look like little miniature daisies. It's just, look at thousands everywhere you look. Yellow wildflowers. And now the bugs can get pollen and nectar off these. See a lot of baby grasshoppers. I was hoping to get a good shot of a butterfly for you, but it's kind of hot, and that could have something to do with it. I did see some driving across. They're beautiful. Look at these. And this is some kind of flowering weed. I don't know what it is. But look at just thousands of these beautiful flowers. There's bugs on this one right here. Some kind of little bee. These haven't opened up yet. But I see a lot of insects, which is nice. So it was a good idea and learn something. I used to think too that you go by places and they're growing trees and they're all in a line. They're being fertilized probably and watered. And I think, oh wow, that's really nice. That's better than condominiums. Not necessarily when it comes to wildlife. Believe it or not. I mean, here's these little purple flowers. Of course, some soil would be better than concrete. But it's a wildlife dead zone. Once I was knew a little bit more about it and mentioned it to Marty, we just said, gonna let it grow wild. It's better for everything, as it turns out. And another thing too, I've cut down maybe 20 trees. And I took some out with this big piece of equipment. And they say the importance of leaving a tree that has fallen over from a storm or however it got there, just leaving it there. And all the food that it provides and shelter. And just don't touch it. So we quit doing that too. We do have 4 acres that you see I mow. But that's, kind of looks, of course. And it keeps less ticks around and, a dog those snakes aren't gonna come out in the bare open like that. Not that snakes are a real problem down here. I haven't seen one yet. And I just like the idea of this. So it's about maybe a mile back to the house. Not even that, probably 3/4 mile. It's been hot and humid. So I'll go back and change my batteries out around 8. Whether they run out on their own or what, they'll be ready for a new set. I'll do a Star Trails and a night trail. It's not as good as the Star Trails. and it'll be good. And then I'll just let those run. Probably won't even come back and get them till tomorrow morning. Marty wanted to get that Jake Paul fight, which I wouldn't walk across the street to see that bum. But I will watch it, but I'd never pay for it. You see, like these trees. Now these trees happen to be here because they got in the way of the windshield. This is a little different, but even though I'm not chopping them up and grinding them up, I'm leaving them here to rot, which is like good. You know, this was a hunting place before a camp. And these are fruit trees these hunters grow to attract wildlife. Some have done all right. Obviously the ones that have got the taproot down where it's a regular supply of water, and some have not. I think they're apple trees, not sure. Seeing a lot of things pollinating. Not sure what kind of tree this is. I mean, you could get a PhD just hanging out here looking at this stuff. Like that robber fly. I don't think I ever saw one. It turns out there's 7,000 subspecies. Believe it or not, they stab whatever they eat, other insects, and then inject it with a neurotoxin similar to snake venom. They don't bite people unless they get harassed, and they said it's a very vicious, painful bite. Thought that was kind of cool. People ask me sometimes, aren't you worried of snapping on a snake? You know, I'm not. The more I read a big book on snakes, about 700 pages, mainly temper rattlers. Copperhead's the #1 biter in the United States. Its venom isn't as toxic, though, as rattlesnakes. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's pretty damn unlikely, especially in the daytime. And breeding season's pretty much over. They're hidden and, you know, what have you. I have not seen one snake. Well, I have seen one. The one when I was up interviewing homeless people. I saw 2 dead in the road since I've been here 15 months. And you know, I drive around a lot. Of course, you're not going to see them around like concrete expressways much. Of course, the water's low here. Ellerton Creek. You know, sometimes this creek fills up so much with like a flash heavy rain, it overflows the banks. Comes right up to the bottom of this bridge, if you can believe it. Crazy, isn't it? These stones, I brought some back for friends. It's called Georgia granite. Beautiful. Shines. You show it to someone from the north, they treat it like it's a jewel. They want to polish it. Party on.